Hey, what's up, everybody? The Crap Gamer here with you as always. Thanks for taking time out to check out this video, which is my video of me answering the questions that you asked me when I did a 8,000 sub, 2+ million views video, and I asked you to ask me those questions. So I'm going to go down here from newest to oldest and try to answer all the questions in a timely manner and try to be a little bit entertaining. I'm sitting here, stroking my beard a little bit. Microsoft just released some interesting news on the Xbots.com wire. If you haven't checked it out, maybe you should. Game on as far as the console war goes. It's a lot closer than you think. I'm not really into the whole sales thing, but great sales all around. And that just means great games and competition is good for us. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that. I'll probably talk a little bit more about it on the Small Talk Big Gamers podcast on Sunday with Next Gen and Showstopper. But definitely worth keeping an eye on. Answer some questions anyway. And here we go. Let's see. We start off with, let's see, who do we got here? The Sony Pony. He says, why should I buy a shit box if most of the games are coming to PC? And what is it like playing on a weaker console? Well, you should buy an Xbox One because, one, you're a console gamer. If you are, then you buy consoles. 2, if you're a PC gamer, you buy PC. 3, you're the type that plays both. Not every game goes to PC. It's a shared ecosystem between the two. I take it from your name that you're a PlayStation fan. Look at the PS4, for example. 99% of the software on PS4 is on PS3 or PC as well. And all the multiplats that you guys love so much are on PC. So why buy a PS4? That's your answer. If you're a console gamer, you buy consoles, obviously. If you're a PC gamer, you play games on PC. Some do both. It's totally up to the person. Weaker console, I don't know. What's Assassin's Creed Unity saying these days? Okay, so let's see. And then that was from the Sony Pony. Now we move on to Art, ATI51, who goes on this long rant, and I'm not going to read the whole thing about how I say Sony is anti-consumerism because they're shutting down PlayStation Home. That wasn't the only thing that I said that they did was anti-consumerism, but that is an example of them doing something anti-consumerism. And he tries to bring up DRM and having 24-hour check-in, and he says thinking about. So, in my opinion, doing something that's anti-consumerist, like online passes, which Sony did, and thinking about doing something like that are completely different things. There's intent on consideration, and then there's actually doing it. 2 different things. So I think that, yeah, Sony, all companies can do things that are considered anti-consumerism. Sony, for one, touted free online, and then all of a sudden kind of said, oh, now you're forced to pay to play. So you could look at that as kind of anti-consumerism. It is what it is. I think that both probably have done some things in the past that they regret. I just think that Sony gets away with a lot more than Microsoft does at this point in time. Okay, XM Cell says, congratulations. My question is simple. What system do you recommend if I'm not an online gamer, more of an RPG player? I'd recommend an Xbox 360 because it's got a shit ton of RPGs that you don't need to be online for. The PS4 and Xbox One, neither one of them have any RPGs. Yeah, there's Dragon Age about to come out, and then next year there's going to be Witcher 3 right away. But other than that, it's pretty dry. So if you're just looking for something to play some great RPGs, man, I would say 360. Diego says, why do you think ponies are obsessed with you and just talking smack about a piece of plastic? And do you think the resolution talk will ever end? Because I'm sick of it. I think that Sony fans worry. I don't think that I have a big channel, but I think that it has grown okay over the past year. I'm more than thrilled with the growth of my channel. I speak well. I'm knowledgeable. And I think they fear that maybe what I say people will take to heart. A lot of times, people think that I embellish things or make things up, but I usually link them with the actual stories. The big sites don't usually run with negative Sony stuff. I think they're afraid that what I say might actually catch on, so they try to discredit me. And I think that's stupid. If you don't like something, why would you watch? Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't like PlayStation 4, for example. So I'm not really going to watch PlayStation 4 YouTubers. I'm intelligent that way, I guess. I don't know. Um, as far as the resolution talk goes, I think that as more and more games are less than 1080p on PS4, that loses its stranglehold. People are already caring less and less about it. So I think that it's already becoming less and less relevant. Who cares at the end of the day? YT Shy Guy says, when will you stop being a stuck-up ignorant fanboy? Let me think about it. Never. Oddfella says, when will you debate Blackbuster? You said you would and even made a date to have a debate. What happened? I'd love to see the two biggest fanboys on YouTube go at it. Um, I don't really want a debate channel. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do, I want to stick to talking about games, doing gameplay videos. I don't want to do beef videos with people. I don't have beef with anybody. People have helped me out on YouTube. I try to help them out. It kind of works like that. You know what I mean? Nothing personal, just nothing that I'm really interested in as far as my channel goes. It doesn't really fit well with my channel. Lenny Lang says, Crap Gamer, what's your Xbox Live gamer tag? It's MOH, then a space, Crap Gamer. And I'm going on 1,000 followers on there, so that's pretty damn cool. Okay, Ebby Mike says, you deserve it, man. I've only subbed about 1,000 subs ago, but it's getting a good time. Keep it up. My question is, do you think Microsoft will bring out a better Xbox One in the next 2 years, not just a slim, but one with superior specs than the PS4? No, they're not going to do that. There'll be a slim, possibly even next year, but you can't just upgrade, put out a new console with more power, because that's like, as we know, the Xbox One's at like 10 million units now. That's like saying, hey, fuck you guys, I already bought that. We're coming out with a slightly better one a year and a half later. It doesn't really work that way, so I don't think so. Will we see a slim? Absolutely. Will we see, a superior Xbox One itself? No. Xbox Gamer says, Crap Gamer giving shit Sony fanboys hell since 2001. Keep it up. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Eric Maldonado says, what do you think Rare is working on for Xbox One? I think they're working on multiple projects. Apparently Phil Spencer just was over there and saw their new game and said it's something uniquely Rare. But I also think they're working on a smaller Battletoads game and Banjo 3. So I think a Battletoads game would be a AA game, and it would be something they would probably release digitally. I don't think it would take that many people to do that, kind of revive that franchise. And I think that they're also working on Banjo 3 and something brand new. Antonio Holmes says, do you let Zaire pipe you down from time to time? I have no idea what that slang means. No, I suppose not. Dante Stevens says, you're the man, Crap. Congrats, Xbox strong. Hell yeah, rack them up. The non-generic gamer says, any tips for starting a specific pro Xbox channel? I'm looking to start one, and you talked about YouTube in general, not specifically pro Xbox in a previous. So I'd like to hear more on your take on the subject. Any suggestions? Yeah, I would say, keep away from the beef stuff. You'll see a lot of people do nothing but beef videos. You want to do, it could take a while to build up subscribers, so keep at it. You want to make sure to get plenty of like gameplay videos and be friendly and try to answer and talk to and engage your audience as much as possible. Stay out of like debates and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's just kind of petty for the most part. From time to time, I guess, it can be fun to bring on guests, and you have an interest in gaming, they have an interest in gaming, and you can talk about gaming together and things like that. So I would say just advertise too. If you're familiar with Facebook, there's all kinds of pro Xbox Facebook pages. I always post my videos in there, and I feel like it drives traffic to you. Twitter, social networking is huge for me. You get 1,000 followers every time you like a video. People check that video out. It's a good way to get, 50, 100, 200 views and likes on your videos. Yes, as far as networking, yeah, that's the best way to go. I didn't really pick up until I started doing the podcast with Next Gen and those guys. So I feel like we've helped each other out immensely, and just, team up with somebody if you want, if you know somebody else that wants to start up, and just kind of, it's going to be tough at first, and then eventually you'll build yourself up and, you know, and go on from there. Good luck though. Xbox One Universe says, are you considering buying a PlayStation 4 or will you still stick with Xbox? I have a Wii U and Xbox One. Until PlayStation 4 comes out with something, probably a few different games that I'm interested in. I don't think it's something that I'm going to pick up anytime soon. You're looking at maybe 2016, possibly. There's just really no need for me to get one right now. I'm not adverse to getting one if they come out with some hardware that I want, like God of War and Uncharted and stuff like that. But so far, their lineup is beyond weak. Of course, that's just my opinion. And I play online a lot, and their network's kind of not the best for that kind of thing. And if you guys hear any pauses in this, it's because, it's just me by myself. And, it's kind of rough on the throat just talking the whole time. So I might take a drink or something. Okay, BroPro15 says, hey, Crap, here's a few questions. Opinion on Destiny. I think Destiny looks beautiful. It plays beautiful, but it lacks soul. I think Peter Dinklage trying to do a Cortana type deal as the Ghost was terrible. He's basically just reading the lines. He's got no emotion. I understand that he's a robot or whatever, but he just sucks. And the story itself is non-existent. I bought that game specifically for the story. They make it seem like it's going to be this epic story and it sounds cool and things like that. And then it ends up not being that way. So, yeah, I think that it's okay. But it's, and it can be fun with friends, but it's kind of a disaster from what I thought it would be. Opinion on Master Chief Collection, he wants to know. I think it's great. I think that there's some people are having some matchmaking problems. The only problem that I've had is the achievements for the individual campaign achievements aren't unlocking. They're showing 100%, but not unlocking. And supposedly 343 is going to have that fixed by the weekend. So here's hoping. I did manage to play a few hours of the multiplayer today with no issue, and the campaigns themselves all play fine. The only problem that I've had is that, as I said, the achievements for the actual individual missions aren't unlocking the way they should. Although some, like the kill achievements and stuff, are unlocking as they normally would. I think it's a hell of an undertaking. It was definitely ambitious to get 4 separate multiplayers on one disc at the same time, 106 maps. I think that's incredibly ambitious. And for them to get it fixed, as quickly as they did or continuing to work on it, they're working hard. I think that's impressive. And he wants to know opinion on Halo 5. I think it's going to be the best looking game. I love what they look like they're doing with it. From what I've seen in the previews of the beta, I like what they're doing. It's kind of going towards the Halo 2 style with a smaller arena shooter, but they brought in these cool jetpacks that everybody has. They're not loadouts or anything like that, so it's going to be even. It's got sprint. They changed up the sights a little bit, so I'm digging it. I'm really excited for it. I mean, that's definitely a day one for me. Javier says, I'd like to see your game room. Hopefully we get to see it. I'm building it up. I still got some stuff in boxes, and then I plan on busting out the camera and kind of showing you guys around. Phil the Gamer says, not hating on Sony, but how long till they're bankrupt? They lost $2 billion plus and lost their biggest investor. I don't want Sony to go bankrupt, but the thing is, Sony isn't the company it was 20 years ago. They relied too much on sleazy tactics and sales to sell the PS4 rather than focus on improving PSN or getting good, not rushed AAA games out. I don't know if they're going to go bankrupt, but the thing is, they're doing things kind of backwards, right? Like, Sony as a company is losing money everywhere except for the PlayStation. So obviously, it's a difficult situation. They don't really seem to have planned well for the future, where Microsoft has seemed to adapt and realize that like cloud and putting, and just, stepping up and putting their stuff like Office and Word on non-Microsoft branded stuff like iPhones and stuff was brilliant because that makes them billions of dollars. So I think that Microsoft planned for the future and that they don't have to rely on the Xbox One really, to do much, to keep it going, whereas Sony has to solely rely on that, and they're losing so much money that it's not really going to be able to keep up. Okay, JAD says, thanks for all your uploads. Crap, been hooked on this channel since I stumbled onto it. Hey, I appreciate it, man. The more people, the better. Ripley Panic says, which game would you like to come back from the OG Xbox days? Maybe KOTOR remade. There's probably a bunch of other ones too, but that's probably one of my favorites. Sony Pony Slayer says, since you own a Nintendo console, I will ask you a Nintendo question. Why is it that Nintendo releases specific edition packs or limited edition games in Europe and leave out the Western market? So far, Europe has gotten a Bayonetta limited edition, the Hyrule Warriors limited edition. Let's see, and now the Majora's Mask 3D Remake limited edition. I think that they're releasing. I have no idea why they're doing that. Nintendo's the only ones that do things weird now. They'll release things in Japan first over North America. Even Sony releases stuff in North America over Japan now. I have no idea. Maybe they have a bigger install base for like Wii U over there than they do here. I have no. They're weird with that. I have no idea. Sorry, I don't really know. Xbox Gamer says, can you rank the best year one lineups game wise? PS3, 360, PS4, and Xbox One. Yeah, sure. I would say 360, then Xbox One, and then PS3, and then PS4. Yep. Okay. Anthony Austin says, hey, crap. Do you think Windows 10 is going to change Xbox One? I think it's going to allow them to do a lot of different things. So I think it's going to change it for the better for sure. I think it's an added something that Sony and Nintendo don't have. So I think anything that you can do that's software based or anything like that that you can add into your console that the competition absolutely can't, it's definitely going to help you. It helps distinguish your console. So I think it's going to help. Mark Dupree says, keep the war alive, crap. Yeah. You know, it's all in good fun. J NoShell76 says, question, is Drive Club one of the worst, if not the worst product release disaster ever? And do you think Sony overall got a pass with it? It's funny how Sony shoots themselves in the foot with their Xbox Game Killer hype, but never quite hit the mark. Congrats on the success. I think that Drive Club has to be one of the worst disasters in recent memory in gaming. You have a game that was supposed to be a launch game. It ends up getting delayed almost a year. And then here we are, 5-6 weeks later, and the game still isn't working properly for everyone. And the free edition that was promised first still isn't going to come out, and it's not going to come out next month or the month after. So there's no ETA on that. I think that that's a huge, huge thing. And the fact that sites are calling that game the Forza Killer is absolutely hilarious. That's why I think I made a video a while back that said the Order 1886 better beware if they start labeling that the Gears Killer, because that's all Sony needs, really, because they've had nothing but failures with that. I mean, Drive Club was the Forza Killer, right? We know how that did. Or what the hell was it? Killzone was the Halo Killer. And then Haze before that was the Halo Killer. And we know how that did. You know, it's poorly. Just stick to doing your own thing. Let's see. The Bob McGraw says, your favorite system of all time? That's the Xbox 360 so far. And the reason being is why I don't say the Xbox One is just because the Xbox One's only been out only about a year so far. And I love it, and I think it's on its way. But the Xbox 360 I've had for 9 years. I have almost 400 games for it, physical games. So, yeah, just so much fun, and I still play it. So, Fraser Jean says, bit of fun creative question. If Phil Spencer offered you unlimited spending on a game, what game would you design? Well, would it have to be a new IP? I think it might be some kind of RPG, possibly. Or if it was something old, I would possibly bring in, it might be, let me think, maybe bring back Blinks or Voodoo Vince. The Fall of Sony says, congrats, keep the great vids rolling. Hell yeah, bro, rack them up. Clint Forbes says, hey, crap, do you think Microsoft needs to advertise the X1 more? I'm watching cable television. All I'm seeing is PS4 commercials. Kind of makes me feel like the Xbox One is insignificant. And now they're coming up this holiday season. You know what I mean? I know Xbox One has a better online structure and all where the fun is, but how much more will the Xbox One brand benefit by spreading that very message this holiday? Well, I think they've been advertising the Xbox One actually more. They sunk more in it for this holiday. It's like during the NFL. I'm not sure if you're an NFL fan, but that's like the biggest thing here in North America. They have nonstop commercials and they're advertising Halo and Forza Horizon 2, and I see them all the time. You know, the only PS4 commercial I've seen is that one where them two kids are playing basketball with each other, and you know they're doing all the third-party multi-platform games that you can play on Xbox One as well. So I think that they're doing a pretty good job, and with recent announcement of their units sold and the amount that they've tripled since their sale, I think that things are going in the right direction. YouTuber says, what are your thoughts on e-begging? I'm not sure what that is. Is that like port begging or something? Or like, yeah, I think that any kind of like begging for stuff is kind of stupid. Sony is the devil. Congrats, bro, again on 8,000. This is more of a statement. I'm subscribed to Nintendo fan channels and Xbox channels. One thing I notice is the Xbox community and Nintendo communities has no drama. They each support each other and talk about games, such as their favorite games and they are playing. And what got them into gaming. I go to some pro Sony YouTubers and all they talk about is sales, bashing anything that doesn't worship Sony. Your thoughts? Also glad to see more positive Xbox news coming from the media lately. Rackham. I think that, you know, like what I do, I've seen that the main media sites treat Sony with kid gloves and they treat Microsoft with a sledgehammer. I kind of wanted to reverse that role. Some people think I'm a little extreme with it, but at the end of the day, I will give you more positive Xbox news than negative Sony news. And I like to mix in the gameplay videos and reviews and previews and all that stuff too. So I think it's unfortunate that, but it's also a product of the PS4 is that they have to talk about sales, which maybe not for long, you know what I mean? But with the news that came out today, but you know, they have to talk about the things that are in their favor because the games aren't. So, you know, it's going to be the few things like resolution where that happens and sales. You know, those things aren't always going to be there for them, you know, but they'll find something else to latch onto, you know. So I think that is unfortunate and it does suck, but there are a lot of good YouTubers. And I noticed that a lot of the smaller YouTubers are where the really great content is. Let's see. Edvard Knoll says, are you going to get Assassin's Creed Unity? Yes, I already have it. Is it okay if I have your Xbox Live name on 360 and Xbox One? Yeah, it's MOH space Crap Gamer, and it's the same one on both 360 and Xbox One. Shifty Cent says, congrats on your milestone. I dig that Skeletor avatar, bro. AUCCEN, I don't know how to pronounce that, says, what new game are you most excited for? Also, have you heard of Star Citizen, and do you wish it come to consoles? What new game am I most excited for? The Master Chief Collection. You know, that's I'm like ready to sink a lot of time in that. I just want the achievements to pop. That's the thing. I'm kind of hanging on for that. So I've just been doing some multiplayer with it. But that's definitely the one that I'm most excited for. You know, I'm excited for Dragon Age as well. You know, I love that series. I've heard of Star Citizen, but I have no thoughts either way on it coming to a console. I don't, you know, it's not my thing. I'm not a PC guy, so I mean, I've heard of some things, but it's not really something that I really want on console, you know. And he says he's been with me since 1,000 subs, and he's glad to see him still growing song. Rack him up. Thanks a lot, bro. Adrian Combs says, congrats. Thank you. Shifty Cent says, do you think Sony pays Berserker and Omazio to shamelessly damage control the PS4? And do you think they're gay lovers? I just think that they're kind of fanboys, you know. I mean, at first they were kind of funny, and I think I had to block Berserker because he was attacking people in the comment section. But it's like some of the stuff they come up with, like you wouldn't believe that they would be able to damage control some of this stuff, but then they do. You know what I mean? It's just kind of funny to me. Like you get a laugh out of it. So, yeah, gay lovers probably. You know, I wouldn't doubt it. Could be the same guy. I don't know. Let's see. Legendary BNR says, I've been watching your videos since the Xbox One came out. You're pretty much my go-to guy for news on Xbox. Thanks for the daily content and keep it up. Hey, no problem. You know, even if it's just some stupid little upload, I try to get something uploaded every single day. And even if it's something I do ahead of time, like this is the thing, just because I do a video every day doesn't mean I do a video every day. You know, sometimes I do them in advance and upload them and then just release them as that goes along. You know, I have a life and a job and a game and all this stuff and a family. So, you know, I try to keep the content coming, and it's hard work, you know, but I think that you guys are worth it and I appreciate the support. Let's see. ATI 51 says, bro, my brother Bonique loves your videos. Keep it up. Okay, thanks. Tony Brennan says, what job do you have away from YouTube? Congrats, man. am a dog trainer and I own a dog kennel. I also do a lot of like animal rescue and stuff like that. So, Prince of Chaos says, "What is your opinion of PlayStation gamers like me who enjoy your content?" Look, there's a difference between a PlayStation fan or a PlayStation gamer and one of those PlayStation fanboys, and there's really bad Xbox fanboys out there too, and Nintendo. But the PlayStation ones are just like overwhelming people with negativity and stuff. And so, like, if you just like PlayStation, that's fine. I have no problem with that. If you enjoy the content, I don't care if people watch my content just to laugh at me. That's fine. I don't care as long as I'm entertaining you guys and you get a kick out of it, then that's fine. I don't understand why if you would hate my content, you would watch it. But if you seem to like it, then I have no problem with that. I don't hate PlayStation. I own a PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 and a PSP. And, I own hundreds of PlayStation games. I just don't have a PlayStation 4 due to the lack of games that interest me right now. And and I focus more on the negative Sony news because I feel like the mainstream media doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day it's not going to always be like that. I don't know. So if you enjoy the content, then I appreciate it. Billy Nintendo says, "Congrats, Crap. Well deserved." Question: what's the one rare game you would like to see return for the Xbox One? For him, it's Perfect Dark. You know what? I want to just say Banjo-Kazooie because I think that is going to come back. And I think that's one thing that Xbox has missed the last generation and a half is exclusive platformer like that. So that would be it. And I think that would win a lot of people. That would win a lot of people over as well. Matthew Lyon says, "Well done. Keep up the good work." Thank you very much. Let's see. Peter said 5747 says, "Congrats. Keep it up." Let's see. Annie Gamer 1983 says, "New subscriber here. I don't know much about you yet, but I'll ask you something anyway. What are your thoughts on PS4's upcoming titles for 2015? Do you think the upcoming titles for the X1 can compete with the PS4 ones? Do you think the Wii U has a chance to at least be more successful than the GameCube?" I think the Wii U is going to be around for a couple more years, so I think they'll surpass the GameCube. I think GameCube sold like 20 million, 21 million. So I think it's possible to sell slightly more than that. I don't think they're going to hit like 40 or 50 million though. The PS4's upcoming titles for 2015 don't really appeal to me. Personally, I'm not really interested in like a lot of the indie stuff or the free-to-play stuff or anything like that. Like as far as the PlayStation games exclusives that come out that I like, it's like Uncharted, God of War, Resistance, Jack and Daxter. I like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Stuff that we haven't really seen. Like Little Big Planet interests me, but I got that coming on PS3. So yeah, it's just one of those things. And as far as the X1 upcoming titles competing, I think the Xbox One has a ton of titles to compete. I think that their exclusives and their lineup and the value of the Xbox One is helping them to compete as a console as a whole. Let's see. ILD says, "Laughing his ass off at NeoGaf at the end of Sunset Overdrive. Great job, Insomniac." Yeah, it was funny that they kind of poked fun of that they kind of poke fun of NeoGaf. I think NeoGaf's a joke, and N4G and all those sites. Let's see. This ATI dude is just like spamming with the questions, man. He says he's a longtime supporter and would like to know when I'm going to show my face and gaming rig. I don't have a gaming rig. I have consoles. Most of the subscribers would like to see your face, your gaming setup, and the real you, not the picture. Well, that's really me. I feel like I don't want to scare so many people. ILD04 says, "How about 2015 game release dates prediction? Heard they're planning to spread the dates throughout the year. What do you think they should do in order to, should they release them? Don't want to do games to be pushed back to 2016. I want to see them all in 2015. I think Quantum Break still gets an earlier release in 2015. So I think Halo 5 is going to be probably a November release. Big rumors floating around today that the Gears collection is going to come out next year. So I think that'll be cool. I think Tomb Raider is obviously probably November, December. The Division, while not exclusive, probably going to come out November, something like that. A Scalebound, I have no idea. It's totally, I don't really know, man. I wish I knew. Let's see. Chris Walmsey says, congratulations on your channel success. I've been a subscriber from early and still enjoy your videos more than ever. Rack them up. Thanks. I really appreciate it. LD4 says, hey, Crap, Sunset Overdrive is a great game and looks like there will be a sequel. Do you think the second part will be exclusive to Xbox? I hope so. And will the next game take place in another city or worldwide? Because, spoiler alert, Sunset City is destroyed. If it's worldwide, Overdrive, that will be cool. And there will be different, bigger maps. Maybe add a multiplayer, not just co-op. I think that Microsoft clearly has some kind of deal with Insomniac, probably first refusal for sequels, sort of like what they did with Gears. So it'll be exclusive if Microsoft wants it to be. Microsoft has the money to do that. I don't think it's something that Xbox gamers should worry about. The way Phil Spencer talks about it, he talks about it like a first-party game. So I think that that's hugely important to note. Okay. OG Generic says, what is the worst game you have? What is the worst games I've ever played? Okay. I got into the show Lost, where the plane crashes on the island, and I came across Lost, the video game, on 360. And I thought, hey, I'll give that a try. And so I bought it, and I take it home and I play it, and it's like the worst damn game I've ever played. The voice acting is terrible because there's nobody from the show in there. You get the guy calling for his kid like right away. He's like, Walt. I just like annoyed the hell out of me, but I did get like a shit ton of gamer score in about 3 hours off that game. I think I got almost 1,000. So yeah, that game was bad. A lot of movie-based games, which will give you good gamer score, which is sometimes I like to do that, just play them for gamer score, but they're so bad. Like Jumper, Griffin's Story was based off that movie. That was another terrible game. Haze was a terrible game on PS3. I had a lot of hope for that. Just really bad game. The Game Filter says, hey, Crap, longtime supporter, you know me. My question is, when Halo Master Chief Collection releases, what are you most excited to play first? And if at all possibilities, will you be planning to make some fun Forge maps for sharing with your fans? Yeah, Team Crapaholics, bro. Well, it's already released. And I will be messing around with Forge. I'm a campaign guy on Halo. I want to play the campaigns. I'm messing around in the multiplayer, obviously, but I always like to do the campaigns first. I wanted to play through all of them. Unfortunately, the achievement situation is making me hold off because I'm not sure if they'll just unlock or if I have to wait for them to fix it before it unlocks or what. So, yeah, I definitely was going to do the campaigns. And me and Mooch were doing actually Halo 1 yesterday. And we noticed that the achievements weren't unlocking right. So let's see. Iris Charles says, I don't get the whole myth about the Kinect spying on you. If you think it's spying on you, you can unplug it or turn it around or just don't plug it in. You know what? This is what I said, all right? PlayStation fanboys, right? They will try to latch onto whatever they can to, promote their thing over your thing. It was sales. It was resolution. If those things didn't exist, it was something else. Now it was the spy box. The thing that was funny to me was, the PS4 has one too. All, cell phones and laptops and tablets, all these things have cameras on them, yet nobody was worried about them spying. So that just goes to tell you, how much people really cared about that. And you can unplug it or cover it or do whatever. Nobody wants to look at goofy people in their basement playing games in their underwear. You know what I mean? Do you understand what kind of what it would take to actually do that? You know what I mean? Like, say you have 10 million Xbox Ones out there with Kinect. What, are you going to have 10 million people individually looking at each of them, or like a group of people? It just wouldn't work out right. You know what I mean? It makes no goddamn sense. The Slate Light says, are you ever going to game on PC? And who do you think is the best developer of all time? He thinks it's a tie between Naughty Dog and Rockstar Games. I've played on PC a little bit here and there. I'm just not big into like the PC scene. It's not my thing. Best developer. I don't even know. It's hard saying. Let me think about that for a second. Um, I think there's a lot of good developers. Probably, Naughty Dog's up there, Rockstar's up there. I actually really like what 343 and Turn 10 do. Obviously, I think Retro Studios for Nintendo does a really good job. And so I think there's a lot of good ones. Okay. Let's see. Grayson Young says, I have a couple questions. What are your thoughts being on Titanfall 2 and Sunset Overdrive? 2, will they remain Xbox exclusives? I think that Sunset Overdrive certainly will. I'm not sure about Titanfall 2. I think the ball's in Microsoft's court no matter what. I think it's murkier for Titanfall 2 because that's an independent studio but published by EA, and EA owns that rights. So that's kind of murky between like a three-party deal, whereas Sunset Overdrive and Insomniac, I think Microsoft was most likely smart enough to have some kind of deal in place for first refusal or something along those lines. So I don't think that it's, a situation where gamers are going to have to worry or anything like that. I think that Sunset Overdrive certainly will get a sequel and it'll be exclusive to the Xbox One. Sunset Overdrive, not as sure. I think the ball is still probably in Microsoft's court. Let's see. Do you have any tips for a new Xbox One user like myself? What did you think of the Nintendo Direct, and more specifically the Mario Kart 8 DLC and Xenoblade? And finally, what games are you most excited for in 2015? Tips. I would say, get into the preview program if you can, because that's always going to keep you on the cutting edge of the updates and things like that. The Nintendo Direct I thought was pretty good. I like the Mario Kart 8 DLC. I think it's awesome. Xenoblade looks good. It's definitely a game that I'm going to pick up. Most excited for in 2015, Zelda, Scalebound, Quantum Break, Halo 5, of course. Whatever comes out, man, I'm stoked. Actually, Scream Ride really intrigues me. I'm just happy to be getting a lot of games. I won't have to buy any hardware next year, so I'll be happy to just, buy games. Let's see, Frandy. Blackie Lebowski says, crap, you were just at like 4 or 5K. Damn, man, good job. Hey, man, what's up, Blackie? How's it going, bro? Man, keep it cool, man. I like your channel too, man. I watch your stuff. You keep it real, man. I like your style. Thanks for watching. 295 Gaming says, congrats on the 8K. Here's to the next 8. Rack them up. Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up. Blackie Lebowski says, what was your favorite subject in school? Math, English, etc. I liked we used to do like language arts and stuff because I like to, I always like to write stories. Sony did kind of mislead their consumers with the whole share play thing, saying that it would work with every game, and and it was kind of hypocritical for them to pump 1080p 60 frames per second as this big deal, and then a lot of their services don't allow that. So I mean, it is what it is. People hopefully catch on to the irony of it. Steamboat Kitty says, or Steamboat Killy says, congrats, man, on the achievement you and your channel just unlocked. I want to ask you, what do you think of Phil Spencer's plan for Xbox One, phones, and PCs working together? I think it's a strong ecosystem. I think that DirectX 12 and Windows 10 is going to help port some of those smaller games between the three. But I think that's pretty much where it ends. You might see them do some dedicated stuff on PC. You're going to continue to see the Xbox One share some exclusives with PC, but I wouldn't expect stuff like Forza or Halo or Gears on PC anytime soon. Berserker 00 says, how long before the Xbox One outsells the Wii U? Oh, guess what, buddy? It already did. It never made sense for the Xbox One to go, hey, we're in second place, or we've sold 6.7 million or 8.8 million. Now we know they're at over 10 million. And the Wii U just announced they're at 7.1. So that puts the Xbox One at the number 2 best-selling console within the first year of all time. And I think it's something like 75% better than the 360 in the same amount of time. So it's doing great. That's the important thing. 360 Crusader says Halo Master Chief sales prediction for 2014. 2 million. I'm gonna say 2 million. I think that if you guys notice the Black Friday stuff, a lot of that has to do bundles the Master Chief Collection as a separate game, though, so it still counts with the Xbox One. Like Walmart, for example, has a $330 Xbox One with Master Chief Collection and a $30 Walmart gift card. So it's basically $300, and you get an Xbox One and Halo. So I think they're going to sell a lot of those. Futura 2500 says, keep up the good work, Crap. Best channel on YouTube. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I mean, I wouldn't even have this channel if it wasn't for you guys. You know, you guys keep me going. Noah Pollen says, congrats, Crap. Been with you since 1000. I have 2 questions. Will you start going walkthroughs, and are you ever going to get a PS4? I'm not a PS4 fanboy. I actually hate the PS4. Dude, I would love to do so much more. I would love to do Twitch streaming and YouTube live streaming of games and walkthroughs, but the fact of the matter is I don't have a PC that can actually handle all that rendering. You know, if I do a 15-minute video and render it, it takes about 3-4 hours, and then I have shitty internet, so I can't stream. And for me to upload a 15-minute video, you're looking at over an hour, probably an hour and a half. So I have those issues holding me back. I would love to, but man, PC upgrades are expensive. And I always think I could put that money in, you know, getting games and stuff. So Jason Buchanan says, good work, man. Thanks. Lace Chuck says, congrats on the success. Always watching your vids. Keep them coming. You damn well know it, bro. Let's see here. H. Raymond says, do you think Microsoft should implement a share play feature on Xbox One to combat Sony's? And congrats for hitting another milestone. Keep up the good content. I don't think they need a share play feature. If they do the family sharing feature, that'll blow share play away, which is basically where you have a set amount of people you can share your game with, and they download it completely. So you're not stuck with 720p, 30 frames per second on these games. You play them the way they're supposed to be played, without streaming or relying on a laggy internet connection. And of course, that will be DRM based. But since you're just borrowing the stuff anyway, I don't think anybody will complain, because if you look at SharePlay, that's DRM. PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus, all that stuff's DRM. If Microsoft does family share, where you can share, say, 5 with up to 5 people with one game, but they have to be online and they can only borrow it for a week or 2 weeks or whatever, I think people will do it and love it. Let's see. Jim Tenner says, here's my question. When someone has an argument about the superiority of the Xbox One over PS4, it's only natural for a pony to stand up for himself and his purchase. But I want to ask you, why do PC virgin race get involved and get more defensive, even more than ponies? It's like they take the statements made towards a console they don't own to heart and get affected even more than ponies. I don't know. You would think that since Microsoft is both PC and Xbox, that the PC fans would be on board with Xbox. But for some reason, and I don't even think it's really PC fans. I know there's some idiotic PC fans out there, but a lot of the PS4 fanboys act like they're big PC guys because, they want to pretend like they can play these Xbox games if they go to PC. We've seen with Titanfall that that's not the actual case. Very rarely do the console games like Call of Duty and these big games do well on PC as they do on console. That's just the way it is. So I don't know why they act like that. I have no idea. It's kind of perplexing to me as well. Let's see. Rocky Punk says, congrats, Crap. I always look forward to your videos. Keep them up. 3 questions. Will you ever do a gameplay plays on YouTube? I'd really like to see that. Man, I'd love to. I try to do Let's Plays, but I got to keep them short, like around 10 minutes. I have if you guys don't know, you can check it out. I have, a lot of people don't realize that I have a lot of reviews for games. I have 360 section, I have a PS3 section, a Wii U section, and a retro section that's full of different games from, back in the day and stuff, of reviews and stuff. And I also do Let's Plays. I'm trying to do more of those. So, yeah. What would it take to make me buy a PS4? Just games. And what's my favorite rare game of all time? Let me think. Probably Banjo-Kazooie. But I really like Viva Pinata as well, not going to lie. Let's see. Fifth Legend says, congrats, bro. You put in the work, and you're only going to get back as much as you put in. It looks like more and more Xbox fans are finding out about you from all over the internet, and even people like me who ain't necessarily an Xbox fan enjoy your content. Since I'm interested in having an Xbox One as a secondary console too, keep doing your thing. My question, have you heard of a game called Freedom Wars for the PlayStation Vita? Why did Sony put their most new interesting IP in a decade on their dying handheld? Why don't they try to bring games from the Vita like that on the PS4 instead of rubbish like Tearaway? Sony perplexes me. I'm not going to lie. I have no idea. I've heard of the game, but I don't know anything about it. Sony is weird. Like Tearaway, I heard was a decent game on Vita, but again, it's not something that I'm really interested in either. So I don't know. You'd have to ask them, man. Ask Yoshida on Twitter. King James 1089 says congrats, thank you. Rainy01 says congrats, you deserve it, thank you. Wicked Gamer says congrats, thank you. Isaiah Marshall says, what's your gamer tag? MOH space crap gamer. Waluigi says, congrats. What Xbox One exclusives are you most excited for? The Master Chief Collection. And, of course, Halo 5 and Quantum Break. Man, I'm just really excited for those. George the Greek says, how excited are you for the next Gears of War? That is one of my favorite franchises of all fucking time. I'm super excited for that. I want to get the, I'm hoping they do a collection next year. I'm hoping for that. I can get my last few friends over from the 360, man. They've been hanging on that Gears, man, on 360. Good Lord. And Anthony says, congrats once again, Crap. I have a couple of questions. What's my gamer tag? It's MOH space Crap Gamer. Where are you from? I'm from Baltimore originally, but I live in Florida now. If you can have any exclusive from Sony or Nintendo jump ship to Microsoft, which would it be? If it was from Sony, it would be God of War. If it was Nintendo, it would be Zelda. Yeah. So, yeah, that'd be cool. Genesis Frenzy says, congratulations. I may not agree on this channel's obvious dismissal of everything PlayStation, but any creator who hits a milestone like this deserves an internet high five. As for Q&A, what's my favorite Xbox console, the original 360 or One? I like the 360 the best so far still. The One is up there, though. I mean, I like them all. I have them all still. I have, tons and tons of games for all three of them. So, yeah, I'm just, always been an Xbox guy, but I like other stuff, too. Let's see. Flare Crow says, you deserve it. Thank you. Chuck the Beast says, congrats, man. You deserve all the subs, likes, and views. What's your favorite game on the Xbox One so far? And how do you like all the updates Microsoft has been pushing out for the Xbox One? My favorite game so far is probably, man, it's hard saying because the three that just hit in a row, like Sunset Overdrive, Forza Horizon 2, and Halo Master Chief Collection are all fucking phenomenal. So I like them all. And the updates, man, are amazing too, man. I love that they listen to what we want and implement them like quick, man. Like you're talking about a month turnover and you get some of that shit that you ask for. I think that's awesome. Antistical Taco says, hi there. Out of all the games out this year, which one is your favorite? So far, probably my favorite would be the Master Chief Collection, but I would say Sunset Overdrive probably would actually be up there a little bit more because that's brand new. Yeah. Anthony Dash says, congrats. I have a PS4 and Wii U, but like to keep up with what's going on with Xbox One. No problem, bro. No problem. Thanks for checking it out. How did you become friends with Zaire, Showstopper, John Doe, and Worry? Next Gen or Zaire came to me and asked me if I wanted to do a podcast with him. And so I did. I knew Worrywart on Twitter, and he seemed like a well-spoken guy. He's an old school gamer, been around gaming since like the old days. So yeah. And then I met John Doe and Showstopper through Next Gen on there. So I brought on Worrywart, and Showstopper and John Doe were already there when I got there. And so we've been all kind of cool since then. Well, not John Doe so much. There's a little bit of a falling out there, but I got nothing against him either. But yeah, all cool guys. Let's see. Okay. Congrats, man. Okay, Robert. Kopecki says congrats. Thank you. Spartan Menifee says block Eric, Austin, and Marshall Elite. Dude, I blocked some of these people, and you guys are the only ones that see that stuff anymore. So, Foxy Gamer says it's funny because PlayStation fans actually helped you to get 2 million views since they love to hate on your vids. Congrats on the 2 million views. Thank you very much. And that's almost like the last one on there. Oh, but I'm going live now onto the actual channel now, and it says, Irish Chap says, how long do you think these console cycles will last into the next Xbox or the PlayStation 5? Let's see. These came out in 2013. I would say by 2019, we'll probably have new consoles. Yeah, I see these consoles lasting 6 years or so, not much more than that. They'll be supported for 10 years, no doubt. You know, that's the plan. But that doesn't mean that something new can't come out before then. Like right now, the Xbox One came out last year, but the 360 is still getting games and support. Same with the PS3. You know what I mean? So you can support two consoles. You know, not everybody upgrades right away. Let's see. Major Nelson, which I suspect you're not the real Major Nelson, says, what is your subscriber goal? 10K, 20K? Man, I started off with an original goal of 1,000. My subscriber goal for this year is 10K. You know, beyond that, I just would like to expand as much as I can and make as much interesting content as I can for everyone. You know, I see people that have way worse content and way less interaction with the fans and less knowledge than I do, and they're incredibly successful. So I'd like to be as successful as I can be. Roberto Schuthier says, how Sony Ponies dealing with all the combo of good news, equal sales of Advanced Warfare on Xbox and PS4, better port Assassin's Creed Unity, and 10 million sales, etc. Huh? I don't know. I mean, look, anybody that was living or dying on the PlayStation 4 being this amazing machine that was like 50% more powerful was just fooling themselves and setting themselves up for trouble down the road, because it's not true. So, yeah. And anybody that thought the Xbox One would not get updated, I mean, Microsoft is a software company. That's what they do. They'll do whatever it takes to compete. They'll do whatever they can to have pretty much equal footing on big games anyway. You know, and I think that that's shown so far. You know, when they needed to get some mythical number to keep the shitstorm away, they did. You know, and I think they'll continue to do that. If you look at the PlayStation 4, where it was at launch, and the Xbox One, let's say Call of Duty, for example, Ghosts, 720p, 60 frames per second, steady 60 frames on Xbox One, 1080p, but the frame rate was all over the place on the PS4. You fast forward a year, you have the Xbox One doing dynamic 1080p most of the time, but it scales back and has a steady 60 frames per second, whereas the PS4, 1080p, but frame rate all over the goddamn place again. So in that year, not only has the Xbox One improved dramatically and done hundreds of update features and stuff like that, but they're getting better equipped and better and used to working with this console, and the PlayStation 4 is still having the same issues that it had last year. So which one has been evolving over the last year and which one hasn't? You know, Microsoft doesn't have to release 2 updates to fix the big update. You know, it's like they release the monthly updates and they work, you know? So just take that into consideration when you're thinking about buying one of these. Breaker206 says, hey, Crap Gamer, can you play free-to-play games without gold on Xbox One? I don't think so. I think you need to have Xbox Live Gold. I don't know if there's many free-to-play games on there right now, but I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah. Let's see. Gamerscore TV Games says, best exclusives on Xbox One for 2015, Crackdown, Halo 5, Quantum Break, Tomb Raider, Spellbound. It's actually Scalebound. But yeah, that's a nice list. 4568 Mark says, hi, Crap Gamer Reviews. How's you? I'm pretty damn good, bro. Let's see. 5150 Turk says, do you know what our sales numbers in North America? I have no idea. Mr. Higher Plane says, Crap, Don't you think the PlayStation fans got the same amount of hate last gen that Xbox is getting now? No. I was actually familiar with certain sites like GameSpot and IGN and N4G and stuff like that. They, from I would say 2007, 2008, that was when I started getting like heavily onto those online sites, right? And the hate was there for Xbox anyway. You know what I mean? Like it always was. I never saw the amount of hate for the PlayStation 3 as I see for the Xbox One now, and it's needless hate. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate. Um, why Vito says Xbox sales tripled. Sony fanboys are crying on IGN. Well, yeah, they had talked themselves into thinking that VG Charts was right, and yeah, they thought that. Let me tell you something about VG Charts. It's just a place that totally fabricates numbers. They don't have a way to actually get legit numbers from anywhere, you know. So nobody should use VG Charts as a way to promote one thing over the other because it's not right. Their numbers aren't right. YouTuber says for that e-begging question, yes, that was geared more towards YouTubers begging for money they don't need, but your answer is about it was satisfactory. Rack them up. Yeah, you know what? Like, do you mean like you could mean even more like Kickstarter or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, hey, I don't have like $500 to invest in a new PC that let me render videos in a higher quality or better or whatever. So if I did a Kickstarter for that, I mean, that would probably be considered e-begging. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's to each their own. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's see here. Cow of Gaming says, could the new Tomb Raider stand up against Uncharted 4 in sales? And do you think Titanfall 2 will remain exclusive? I think Tomb Raider, the last Tomb Raider, was better than the last Uncharted. So I think that trend could continue. And I think Titanfall 2 could remain exclusive. I don't see how Sony can offer the free servers that Microsoft did for that game. And that game relies heavily on servers. Gamerscore says, what do you think about the Assassin's Creed Unity frame rate problems? I haven't spent much time with it, but I think it's unfortunate. Now, the whole thing that I did a video about that wasn't really pointing out, hey, the Xbox One version is a few frames per second better. My point was PlayStation 4 fanboys were bitching about hashtag no parity because they thought the PS4 could handle 1080p with that game, and clearly it can't. That was my point. I don't really give a shit about anything other than that aspect. Worry Ward says, do you think Halo will unite the planet and everyone will have free healthcare and donuts? I absolutely think that Halo should unite the planet. We all love Master Chief and Cortana for sure, and donuts are pretty damn good. Spartan Menifee says, hey, Crap Gamer, are you going to get Far Cry 4? Maybe next year. I'm not going to get it this year. Let's see. Weedoc says, your title isn't good. Xbots, Sony, Ponies, Wii U fanboys, and PC Elite, this all suck. None of them are awesome. Bro, I know. It's just me having a little fun. Don't take it so easy. It's just jokes. Lazy77 says, what are your thoughts on Black Bond? I don't have any thoughts. I've never seen anything he's done. You know what I'm saying? I can't really say one way or the other. Jason Heller says, why do Sony fanboys keep saying the Xbox can't do 1080p when there is a long list of Xbox One titles in 1080p? I think that it's just the perception thing. They're going to cling to something to hate on no matter what it is. So let's see. Mr. Festo says, what do you think about 343 dropping the ball with the Halo Master Chief multiplayer? I don't think they dropped the ball. I think that, as I said earlier, you have a game that is trying to mix 4 completely different multiplayers, 106 maps, a universal interface. There was probably bound to be some kind of issues. I haven't had any problems with it. I've been doing that instead of the campaigns because the campaigns aren't popping achievements like they supposed to. So I've been doing that, but they're going to be working with it. And I would guess by the weekend that everything's going to be 100% on that. So, Disneyland didn't open with all the rides working. George says, do you play Halo Master Chief Collection? I absolutely do. Trey Kraft says, did you hear Microsoft has announced 10 million units? Yep, definitely did hear it. King Mark said, "Did you hear about Xbox remastering the Gears of War?" Yeah, I heard that's a rumor. Warrior Ward says, "Sold in to retailers. Sold in." Arr. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. 295 Gaming says, "What are your thoughts on the Ninja Gaiden games? Do you think we'll get a Ninja Gaiden game on Xbox One?" You know, I like the Ninja Gaiden games. I have them. I have the first two on 360, and I have the original on Xbox. I like them. They're hard as shit. So I'm definitely for them doing that. Let's see. Nerd Square says, "What's your favorite sport?" That's NFL football. Sean Matthew says, "Will the Xbox One ever surpass the PS4 in sales?" Let me say this much. If the Xbox One sells like I believe it's going to sell for like Black Friday and this year, I think that it's going to damn near catch it this year. And I think that might spur Microsoft into keeping a permanent 349 Xbox One on the market just to do that. I honestly think that the Sony fanboys are going to have to pick something else to brag about with the PS4 because they're not going to have sales very much longer in their corner. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, it looks like that's pretty much about it. I might refresh this one more time, but I appreciate you guys all coming out here and asking all these questions. Here we go. Do you have a parrot in the background? And does he like Xbox? No, I don't have a parrot. I got a radio in the background. The Bob McGraw says, "Are you a Resident Evil fan or are you getting Revelations too? Rack them up." I am a Resident Evil fan, and unlike a lot of people that hated the direction Resident Evil games took recently, I enjoyed them. You know what I mean? I'm in the minority there, but I definitely enjoyed them. What games do you think Sony will show in Vegas next month? Do you think we'll see a new God of War or Guerrilla Games new IP? We won't see a new God of War because they're only staffing up for that. That's years out, probably about the time we see the new Gears of War, so a couple years out. You're probably not going to see much that hasn't already been shown. Maybe a couple remasters or something. I don't know, man. I don't really keep up with that stuff. Demon Wolf. Yo, what's up, Demon Wolf? He says those cutscenes are incredible in Halo 2. I absolutely fucking agree. I think Blur did a great job, and anybody that hasn't checked it out should definitely check out the Blur cutscenes, which are fucking expensive to do. So anybody that thinks Microsoft just put out a cash grab, go look at those cutscenes that they invest. I think Blur charges an insane amount just to do like a 1 minute scene. And they also totally redid all the music and some of the voice acting and the sounds and they just a lot of work went into that whole set. And it's unfortunate there's a few issues, but man, that doesn't take away from a great product in my opinion. Xbox One games favorite to 2015. I like Halo, Tomb Raider, pretty much all of them, man. It's all good. Anyway, man, I've been keeping this shit long enough, man. I appreciate you guys checking it out. It's been over an hour, man. My throat's about had it, man. An hour of talking. We'll do this again when I hit 9,000 and 10,000 and so on, man. If you guys know people that like the channel or, tell your friends and all that stuff, man. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys do me a big favor, though, man. When you see my videos, give them the thumbs up, especially if you're a fan, man. I get a lot of those thumbs down from them Sony fanboys, man. So give it a thumbing, Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. Rack them up. Comment, rate, subscribe, and all that jazz. Crap Gamer out.